You're watching Cheery TV.
Howdy everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation, where we talk about some things I like to talk about when I want to talk about them, and what I want to talk about is right now, and what I want to talk about is my least favorite things. You can already see from the video. There is no video. Oops. Yeah, I have some extra plans today on this lovely Thursday, so I didn't get a chance to do both today, so I'm going to be recording just the audio, and then we'll do how it goes. This is like the third time it's happened. I apologize, but you know, it's always been mostly about the conversation going on in the actual game, so I feel like it's okay. And you know, this is just one more reason why some people can maybe consider me their least favorite YouTuber, which is perfectly fine. Because I'm pretty bad at it, so I wouldn't blame you if I was. But let's get into some of my least favorite things, shall we? Because there's a lot of things that I genuinely consider my least favorite. I don't hate a lot of things. That's the thing. I don't hate much. It's just that there's a lot of things that could be better, and I've seen better, and I know better. And we're basing this entire list off of the things that I listed as my favorites a few months ago, probably now. I don't actually know when I last did that, and I'm now going to check, which means you're going to have to listen to me stall with words that don't necessarily make sense for the situation at hand, but ultimately they do serve a very good purpose because they help just sort of drive this along. And, I've deleted 2 things in here. Why are episodes 104 and 105 just gone? Huh? Escaping a room, and then where was I didn't delete those. When were they deleted? When was 104 and 105 deleted? Why'd that happen? What were episodes 104 and 105, huh? I don't remember ever deleting them. Well, yeah, hold on. This is a travesty. Wait, hold on. I definitely don't still have them, but I know I still have the thumbnails at least. I dislike Uber got deleted, and only where was Walt. So I dislike Uber just got fucking annexed from the channel for some reason. Why? When did that happen? There's only one, so that's lucky, I guess. Yeah, there was only one video deleted. Why did it get deleted? Did it never actually post? Well, that's unfortunate. I don't even know what I talked about in that one, so I don't even know if I could redo that. That's funny. That's insane. Why did that go away? I mean, I doubt it's still on here. It might still be on here. The actual... I can't check because I'm already recording, but that is bizarre. Because this is 2 deleted ones, but there's only 1 episode in between all of this. That is very strange. Yeah, because only 1 week goes past, because then it would be the 25th, and then it would have been the 2nd. Yeah, so only 1... I don't understand what happened there. Oops. Either way, where are my favorite things? That was back in April 25th, so almost 4 months ago now, I talked about my favorite things. And now, with that same sort of list, we're going to be talking about my least favorite things. Because there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily like. There's a lot of things I don't hate, which will wind up on this list. Oop, hello. But there's just a lot. There's a lot of stuff. So let's get to it with our first thing, my least favorite food. Oh, this is still the favorites list. There we go. The least favorite food. Anything with peanut butter in it. Because let's face it, I don't like peanut butter. I feel like that's a very obvious thing. I don't think I've made it clear that I like peanut butter. Apparently, I keep telling my coworkers I don't like peanut butter, and then they keep offering things with peanut butter in them. Like, there's like this peanut butter, like, protein thing that they didn't want. Though, you want this? I don't like peanut butter. They're like, oh, yeah. And then they still offer it the next day, and then it's like, they'll offer me a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's like, dude, I don't know if you're just trying to get me to like peanut butter. The only time I've ever actually enjoyed eating something with peanut butter in it was I had a Reese's stick, because I didn't tell this one coworker that I didn't like peanut butter yet, and they just offered it to me, and I was like, okay, well, they already handed it to me. My hand has touched the chocolate. I feel kind of bad if I don't, eat it. So I ate it, and I was like, oh, it really doesn't taste like anything like peanut butter. Like, we got, like, the low dose of peanut butter in that, which was good, because that was the only way I could really enjoy it. But I don't like the smell of it is so strong. Not necessarily bad, but pretty bad. I hate the smell of peanut butter. I hate the taste of peanut butter. Everything about it's awful, and I don't want to eat it. Or almonds. Not almond butter, just almonds. Don't like almonds. We don't need to continue from there, just fuck almonds. Next one is my least favorite drink, which I actually didn't even include in the first one. For those of you wondering, my favorite drink is water. Straight up, just water. Love water. But my least favorite drink is something that water is used to make, which is coffee. And especially the smell of coffee. Very similar to peanut butter. Very similar to most things I don't like. Things are very smell-based for me, because my smell is not good. It's very bad. I can barely smell a lot of things. But if something is strong enough, I can smell it. And usually something strong, even if it's a good smell, I'm going to gag at it. So coffee, I'll gag at coffee. Peanut butter, I'll gag at peanut butter. Like really freshly clean laundry sometimes, if it's way too much soap or however to make it so it's so strong you can smell it still, might gag. Honestly, it's just, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what it is. But in particular, I'll still know if it's a good or smell or a bad smell with coffee. I just fucking hate the smell. It's not refreshing. It's not energizing. It's not happy. It's just gross coffee. I hate the smell. Hate the taste. I've tasted it. I've had a cappuccino Lay's chip, which you know what, that's going on the list because there's a least favorite potato chip flavor that's I put something else, but I'm also putting cappuccino, and I definitely spelled that wrong. There is supposed to be 2 P's. Alright, that's honestly not too bad. And yeah, I hate that. But coffee, bad flavor, bad taste, everything about it is wrong. Next up, we have restaurant, because I have a least favorite restaurant. And this doesn't necessarily count. I enjoyed their food. I still do, to an extent. It's McDonald's. And there's only one reason I don't like this restaurant, and I couldn't honestly think of another restaurant that I've eaten at that I genuinely hated and have not at least tried to go back to and saw something decent. Like every restaurant I go to because I enjoy some of their food. Like Subway. Don't really care for Subway, but I enjoy their food, so I'll eat it. I don't hate it. I don't really not like any of these, but McDonald's I haven't been to in a long time. And ever since my trip to Brooklyn, I have sort of had a distaste for McDonald's because I think I mentioned this in the video where I came back, but that honestly, that might have been the one that got deleted. I don't know. But I had a dream while I was over there that was very it was like a plague hit the world and everyone was dying. Except the only thing that was, it wasn't like a plague, it was the fact that, well, for whatever reason, McDonald's Happy Meals, just, you touched one, you ate from one, you were dead. There was no saving you, all of them were contaminated with something that killed you. And apparently, for whatever reason, everybody and their mother wanted to eat a Happy Meal. And at one point, I was just walking down the street, heart pounding, and I saw some kids just snacking on a Happy Meal, like, or about to snack on one, and I thought about going to talk to them, and as I was walking up to them, they started eating it, and I was like, oh, well, it's too late, why make their last day sad, you know? So I just, it was like a whole day and night's worth of just misery, watching the whole world fall apart because McDonald's Happy Meals were killing everybody. And I woke up from that dream and I was so damn sad and depressed. It was not a good day. Well, it wasn't a good hour because that whole hour I was fucking done. We were just watching Family Guy before we went out and I was like, oh fuck this, it was terrible. So I have not eaten there since, and I have no plan to either. I don't know what it is, but it's just bad. It's bad. I don't want to eat it. It gives me bad memories. Reminds me of bad things. Next, we move on to a least favorite book, which another thing that is based off of bad memories. Catcher in the Rye. Catcher and the Rye? I don't know. I've never read the book. But the reason I don't like it is because for a school project for one of my friends in 8th grade, going into 9th grade, it's like a summer school thing that they wanted to do. I don't entirely understand the whole premise of it, but basically, they were reading Catcher in the Rye, and they needed to make a movie trailer for Catcher in the Rye. For whatever reason, and they were like, "Hey, you always said you wanted to be an actor, maybe?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, it seems fun. I enjoy doing like characters and voices and shit." They're like, "Okay, yeah, can you help me with this?" I'm like, "You know what? Fuck it, sure. We'll have a good old time. It'll be great." And honestly, a lot of those memories were somewhat positive, but a lot of it was also just misery because they were basically just treating me like shit because I was kind of bad at it, but also I just was very not confident about it at all because I would do something good and they were like, "Do it again, that one wasn't good," and I'm like, "Okay, ow, that hurt." That was my first time doing stuff like that, so it was not a good introduction to really trying to get my brain into it, you know, if that makes sense. And just that whole thing. There was a couple of scenes in particular. There was one time we were buying like a pond of ducks, and there was a whole scene where I was supposed to remember a line. I was like, "Where do the ducks go in the winter?" And then they fucking do some stupid shit. And then, but instead of like me voicing it later and then just getting them like the picture of me over the river, they wanted me to just say the line as they were zooming in on me. And I was like, "But okay," but like it sounded horrible. Because they couldn't, the audio was terrible, and they were like, "Do it again. No, we can speak. Just do it louder." And I'm doing it loud. They're like, "Louder." I'm like, "Fuck no! This is stupid. This is stupid." And then there's also one point in particular where it was the last thing we recorded, and all of our friends were there, and it was me on the ground because it was supposed to be me getting punched in the face and me on the ground with a bloody nose, just like panting and huffing and shit, and I was doing that. And instead of blood, they didn't have any fake blood or anything similar to it. They just had ketchup. And they shoved it way up my nose. And it wasn't pleasant because I don't like ketchup. I don't like the smell or the taste of ketchup. I especially didn't before. I like it. It's okay now. But ketchup threw me off back then, and I didn't like it. And they shoved this shit in my nose, and they were like, just deal with it for a minute. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then we do, but they put so much in there that even after wiping it all out, I smelled ketchup in my nose for weeks. Weeks after that. It was just miserable. It was miserable. It was fun. Thinking about it now, it was a good time. I got to hang out with some of my friends. It was really nice. But just some of the bits made it really fucking miserable in the moment, and for that reason, Catcher in the Rye, I will never read you. I will not feel bad. Cawthorn or Hawkbane or whatever the fuck my character's name was. Fuck you. You know, McCulfield. James Mickelstein. What the fuck was his name? Catcher in the Rye. I'm going McHowell. McCowell? Give me the name of the character, please. No, I don't want the author. Holden Caulfield. There we go. Yeah, fuck that guy. Okay, but now we move on to my least favorite movie genre, which is not a surprise to probably most people here, horror. I think I have a whole video dedicated to why I don't like horror movies. They're just not, they don't get me, you know? Like, they don't hit me like how I feel they should. And because of that, I don't really like watching them. Because it's whenever someone tells me it's going to be a scary thing, I expect it. So if anything scary happens, like, yeah, it's scary. Like, jump scares in games and movies, they don't really get me at all. Because it's like, yeah, it's something's going to happen. They're setting it up. It's going to happen. So, like, sometimes they will get me, but it's not like it's a scary get me. They'll be like, oh, wow. Good one. And it just kind of goes from there. So I don't get the rush from horror movies, which is what most people are looking for in a horror movie. It's what I'm looking for in a horror movie, but I don't get it. So I just don't like horror movies. They're not that they're bad. Some of them are good. I just never have a good time watching them because it's a whole movie in silence, in darkness. I hate a movie or a show that really emphasizes the dark moments, like there's like no lighting, because it's just hard to see it, especially with my crappy TV. But just the whole movie's dedicated to like setting up this tension that I really don't feel very much watching the movie. So it's just kind of a boring movie. But sometimes they're good. Sometimes they are good. Least favorite actor? I can't say I have one, honestly. I cannot think of a character or a person that acts that I am not always... I watch a movie, I don't really care about who's acting in it, unless I like the actor, in which case, great. But most of the time I watch a movie because I like the movie, and I'm like, oh, I like the idea of the movie. I'm like, oh, cool, they're playing this well. So I honestly can't think of somebody. I guess if Amy Schumer counts as an actor, I don't know if they've done acting, but their whole fucking life is an act, so they're bad. I don't like Amy Schumer. There's my answer. I'm just gonna get rid of can't say I have one, and I will just put, I don't know how to spell Amy Schumer, but I feel like I'm gonna get pretty close. I swear it wasn't like 20 letters. I just kept having to backspace it. Least favorite movie. This might be a controversial one, but I fully stand by it. The Breakfast Club. I watched this in high school, which is where I think most people were I think that's the whole... I think you watch it in high school. Like, it's like a coming-of-age movie, so you're supposed to be like, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it, It was so boring. I watched it with my ex at the time. Well, not girlfriend at the time. Ex now. I guess that makes. I don't know how to word that. Ex at the time seems stupid and wrong. But either way, watched it with them. I think they enjoyed it a little bit, but neither of us were really like, yeah. People hyped this movie up. The people think The Breakfast Club was like is one of the best movies ever. No, it is not. It is so boring. It's just a bunch of dumbasses sitting in a detention hall and they do some shit and they try to do some other dumb crap. It's boring. It was very boring. I don't remember why they call it The Breakfast Club. I don't remember. I'm sure they went over it for minutes. Don't remember. It was boring. I don't remember a damn thing about it. It was a terrible movie. Least favorite travel destination. For this one, anywhere that's hot. You know, it really could be anywhere. I put the Caribbean and I put California because I know those two places are generally hot. In the Caribbean especially because that's where beaches are. Anywhere with a beach and it's hot. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. I hate the beach. I hate hot. Put it together, terrible. So anywhere that's a hot beach in the Caribbean, as far as tourist destinations tend to be, is just hot beaches. So I don't like that. Every one of my coworkers likes beaches, and almost every single one has taken a vacation to a beach this summer. And the only one who wasn't going to is going to because their friends wanted them to go to, but they agree. I only have one coworker that agrees with me that beaches are terrible and the hot is terrible. I don't understand how people can enjoy that weather. It's not good. It's just exhausting. It's just tiring. And it's like, I'll go in the water. I love going in the water, but also I can't swim, so you're going to go like 6 inches in the water before I feel like I'm going to die. One time I tried going far and I got swept in. I got pushed back to the shore by a wave that just took me. I could have been dead. That could have been the end of me. But instead, the water gods were like, get the fuck back over there, you idiot. And yeah, luckily it pushed me towards the shore because it easily could have just taken me and I would be dead. So, you know, what are you going to do? So I'm not a fan of beaches. Not because of the death thing, just because it's hot and sand is gross. Season, my least favorite season, summer. It's hot. It sucks. It's got my birthday. That's cool, I guess. That's about the only good. My friend's birthday. A lot of my friends' birthdays are in the summer, actually. But that's about it. I hate the rest of it. It's boo. Terrible. Terrible. Bad. Bad season. I'm starting this off with a lot of things I do genuinely hate. I'm surprised. You know, going through this, trying to write stuff down, there's a lot of stuff that I just kind of put some shit down because I was like, yeah, I guess I don't like that. But we started off with some bangers. Next up, we have board game. And board game, I want to say Ven, because it's a game that I bought that I have not played yet, and I thought it'd be interesting, but reading the rules, it sounds stupid, and I don't think I'm going to like it. But I've never played it. It's been like over a year since I've had it at this point. But I have not touched it. I don't want to. But a game I have played, I do think Pictionary is my least favorite, which is weird because I love telestrations, like the game where like you draw stuff, you pass it around, write what you think it is, pass that around, draw stuff. That's awesome. Pictionary in particular it can be fun. I've played it with my family before, like at my grandma's house, and it was kind of fun, but also it's just kind of a bunch of people screaming and being loud, and it's annoying, and I hate it. It's just not. I don't know what it is. It's just not fun to me. It's not very fun because you can never understand what's going on. And we have like a little Pictionary Man Junior set, which is like a kid's thing where it's like you have a little plastic guy you draw on with some chalk. That's terrible, and it's just like you can't really guess what's happening because it's such a small thing that you can't even understand what's being drawn until they're done and they put it down. And like, oh yeah, it's that, and they're like, yep, got it. Like, that's not fun. It's not fun at all. So yeah, Pictionary Man Jr. I would say is my least favorite board game. But either way, I still do have fun. I have very fun memories playing that game. But that's because we were dicking around, having a stupid time. Next up is least favorite video game. And I don't have a concrete answer for you. But anything that starts fun and gets more and more grindy as you play, those are my least favorite games. Like, some rehashing Call of Duty games aren't that fun. Like some more multiplayer heavy games aren't that fun. Sometimes a roguelike just doesn't hit right and it sucks ass for me. Like Risk of Rain 2 is fun, but I don't get into it all that much. But Risk of Rain 2 is not my least favorite game. I actually do enjoy that game quite a lot, even though I suck at it and I don't really like playing it. I do enjoy it when I play it. But games like Warframe, games like Monster Hunter, games like Deep Rock Galactic, games that my friend has gotten me into in particular, it's kind of weird. they're very fun the first while you play it, and then the moment you decide that you want something, the moment you're like, oh, I want to get that weapon, oh, I want to get this character up to this, or I want to get this armor, or this mod, or this whatever, it becomes such an unfun, pain in the ass grind investment towards this tiny thing in a game that by the time you get it, you just grow to hate the game. Which it just sucks, especially Warframe. Warframe is the biggest thing for this for me. I played this for hundreds of hours, and I think I've only enjoyed like 40 of those hours. I like playing through the story. I like doing a couple missions to be like, okay, now I have enough for this. But it gets to a point where you need to do the same mission like 60 fucking times for a chance at this part, or to get enough materials or enough money to get this thing that you want. Oh, I spent 2 weeks straight after school trying to farm for enough pieces so I can get a little stupid fucking cat pet thing. That ultimately, I never noticed that he was even fucking there in the first place. Because the pets don't do that much, believe it or not. It sucks. It just sucks. It's a terrible game. Terrible just grind, it's just, ugh. I could be playing fun things. I could be doing something. I've been playing For the King 2. I love For the King 2. For the King 2 is awesome. But yeah, Warframe is probably my least favorite, even though I do have a lot of good memories with it. But just any game that makes you grind so much in order to actually do anything. After, especially, it was fun in the beginning because you weren't really focused on the grinding of it. That irks me so hard. Least favorite music genre is next. And honestly, I put trap with a question mark because I don't necessarily like trap music, but I don't hate it either. I can jive with most music genres, honestly. There's always something nice. Like most music that I hear, I can't really think of a song that I've heard very recently that I hate, Like some of them I don't like necessarily, but I don't really hate many of the songs. As long as it has like a nice rhythm to it and like a good beat, even if the words aren't the best, as long as it sounds okay, as long as everything sounds good, it's very fun to listen to. As long as it sounds like upbeat, especially if you have like an upbeat sounding song, I don't care what the fuck you do with it. It's just as long as it sounds fun, I'm gonna like it. I'm pretty easygoing. Even if it's not an upbeat song, I still like it. Like there's a lot of shit from artists that aren't upbeat, and I like it. But it's just there's a lot that I like, and there's not a lot that I don't like in terms of music. But I put trap because I don't really go out of my way to listen to trap, so I went with that. In terms of musician, I really don't know because again, a lot of musicians that I know because I listen to them frequently because I like them. I don't want to say like frickin' Juice WRLD or someone that I don't listen to that I know of that exists, but I actively don't listen to him. Not because I don't like him, just because I don't want to. It's just not something I want to do. So I can't say he's my least favorite because I don't know enough about his music. I don't think I know a single song from him. So like, with that consideration, I don't know if I can say I have one. This one I used to hate as a kid because I used to get traumatized, but I used to get traumatized by Lady Gaga as a kid, and I'll explain it through the next question, which is my least favorite song. As a kid, I didn't listen to music. I didn't listen to a whole lot of music. I do now. Love music now. It's awesome. But something about it as a kid, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. I didn't get into music until like middle of my high school years, which I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Jonathan Colton, I think, was the first artist that I listened to consistently. And then Weird Al followed, and then I think probably Dan Avidan and Ninja Sex Party followed after that. But it was a long time between. But they're still awesome. I still love them. And now I listen to a lot more stuff. A lot of the basic bands, like Beatles, Radiohead, Cage the Elephant, just shit like that. But when I was a kid and I didn't listen to a lot of music, I didn't really care much for Lady Gaga. And I really didn't care much for her song Bad Romance. My sisters sort of instilled this in me because I hated that song. It wasn't great. It wasn't fun. I didn't like it. I like it now. It's a great song now. But as a kid, I don't know what it was. I just didn't like it. And what they would do is they would chase me around the room screaming it. Either my sister would have it on their phone, or they would have it on the computer, blasting at full volume and chasing me around, going ga ga la la. Well, I just, it was not fun. It's not fun. But if I had to choose a song now that I actually don't really care to listen to, I gotta say the Kiss of Venus, a Paul McCartney song, but with Dominic Fike at the wheel instead of Paul McCartney's. I love Paul McCartney's rendition of the Kiss of Venus. It's a beautiful song. He sings it in a way that pulls on my strings, but Dominic Fike just fucking overblows it, and like people love this version. It's the most popular song from the reimagined set, which is fair. It's not like it's bad. Again, I listen to it now. It's a completely different song than the Kiss of Venus. It has a couple of the verses and like lines from it, but it's a completely different song. And that fucking goblin voice thing at the not like a goblin, but like a fairy voice. I don't know. It's like they shrunk him down and had him sing. And he goes from like singing like a person to like, and it's like, why? Just sing it. Just be normal. I don't understand. I hate songs that do that, where they just take their voice and just pitch it up like they're sucking on helium. Like, it's fine, but it's just not. It's not what I like to listen to, I guess. But I don't hate this song because I do listen to it now. Now that I think about it as its own individual song, not as the Kiss of Venus. It's okay. It's pretty fine. Honestly, I do like it, but it's not my cup of tea, in comparison to the original, much better one. Least favorite hobby. Now, I need to put a little bit of a statement in here because it's the least favorite hobby for me to do, not in general. Because if I don't say that, my sister might hate me because I put crocheting. They love crocheting. They've crocheted me so many things that are so fucking awesome. It's honestly incredible how much they have developed their skills over the past couple of years. It's actually mind-blowing. But, for me, I tried for a couple days, not very long, but a couple days, really hard to try to figure out how to fucking, like, I got like one of those like starter kits, like I was gonna make a little flamingo. Couldn't figure it out. I remember doing a Cheery TV special for that. I think it was my first Cheermas. I was being grandma and I was gonna just crochet the flamingo the entire time, and I thought I would get the hang of it just on stream, but I couldn't. So I just gave up and I started doing word searches and shit. It was stupid. It was funny, but I loved that. That was so dumb, but it was very fun. And I gotta say, but crocheting is not for me. And you could give me a week to make a circle, and I could never do it. I'm not good at things that involve very precise hand movements. Even like playing guitar and stuff, which I'm trying to get better at. I'm not the best at it. Like I'm getting a lot better at chord switching and stuff, but I still get tripped up a lot on ones that I usually get right because sometimes my hand just gets fucked up, and then when I notice, then I try to readjust, and then I'm already trying to transition again, so it all topples down on top of itself. It's a mess, but it's fun. But crocheting I can never get into. No offense to anyone who is, especially my sister. Least favorite sport, I put soccer. And again, this is to play. To watch, probably golf. Because that's boring. I wouldn't mind playing golf. Golf seems fun to play, but boring as hell to watch. Soccer might be cool to watch. Never watched it, honestly. But we watched one game in school once, and I was kind of bored. So maybe on the lower end there. But either way, playing it is fun. I enjoy playing soccer. But the amount of injuries I got from playing it, even when I wasn't on a team, was annoying, because I would only play like after school or during school with like my classmates. Never friends or anybody. Sometimes my friends would play on the same team. Most of the time they didn't, so it's whatever. But I would either be goalie, which is the only thing I was moderately good at, but I would always get hit in the face with balls. I still have one very vivid memory. I was in 4th grade after school program. We were playing soccer. I had glasses on. I had sunglasses on for some reason. I guess I thought I looked cool. They kicked the ball right into my face, dropped my glasses. The glasses were fine. Hit my nose really hard. I was like, oh, fuck, ow. I sit out for a few minutes. I don't think I was bleeding, but maybe I was. But either way, on the second go around, because I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can keep going. Not even a minute later, I'm still at the goal. Bam! Another ball right to my face, and then I was definitely bleeding. It didn't break the glasses still, though. I just remember them. I remember having them on. But yeah, my nose got fucking destroyed. And I was like, you know what? I think that was the last time I genuinely tried to play soccer. But most of the time, I try to play soccer, and I just suck at it, because I don't know how to fucking kick that stupid ball. I can't keep it in a straight line. Still can't. I can't dribble very well. I'm not good at sports. I like badminton. Badminton's fun. I can play badminton. That's about it. But any sport that involves my feet, I'm very klutzy, so I trip so easily. For kind of similar reasons, I also put Frisbee, but that's just because I kept getting traumatized. There was one day in 8th grade where I got hit with, it was one day, at least 12 different Frisbees, balls, basketballs, whatever the hell it was. I kept getting hit by shit. I eventually moved to the other side of the bleachers because I was done playing after a few hits. I was like, fuck it, I'm sitting, I'm done. And then I kept getting hit from things, or things were going right by my face. I move over to the other side, and almost immediately, a Frisbee comes flying around the corner and, like, fucking dunks me. I'm like, you got me fucking... I didn't want to move. I was flabbergasted that it even happened. I wanted to watch it happen, and it happened. And I was so pissed off. It was a rough day. My friends were laughing. I was, too. But I was mainly just pissed with rage. Like, how does this keep fucking happening? It was awesome. It was very fun. Well, either way. Probably soccer. Least favorite comfort food. I don't really know how you can have a least favorite comfort food, but I put my mom's pierogies with onions in them because normally they just make it with cheese and potatoes. It's a nice, solid, one-textured food. Very mushy, very delicious, amazing. But sometimes they'll put onions in them because they all like onions. I don't like onions. I think onions are disgusting and terrible, and they crunch weird, and it's gross. Anything with a texture that is opposite what I normally get from something, hate it. Anytime onion is in something, hate it. Anytime a weird, nasty crunch is in my mouth when I'm not expecting it, or when there really just shouldn't be one, immediately dislike it. And I'm always eating food because I feel like I'm cozy, so I feel like that just applies to all food. But yeah, my mom's oniony pierogies, nah, not great. I still ate them, but I wasn't as happy. Least favorite app, I put 2 down, and one I actually put was on my favorites list, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because I had a lot of fun playing it, but it's one of those games, again, that just got too grindy, that by the time I finished grinding for something, I no longer wanted to fucking play the game at all, because I was so mad and so bored of it. So, I played that for a long time. It's been a long time since I've played it, but I played it for a long time. I put years into that game. And now I don't think about it at all, honestly. The only time I think about it is when I occasionally watch an Arnold T101 video. Keep it up, man. You're fucking awesome. He's fucking doing great shit. Honestly, his live streams have never missed. They've been so fun. He keeps making them more and more high quality. It's insane. It's insane the shit he can do. It's honestly flabbergasting. I wish that could be me. And maybe it can eventually. We'll see. I'm really excited for what I want to do with this channel. Card Wars 2 is the other one I wrote down. I enjoyed Card Wars 2, but after they stopped supporting Card Wars 1, they came out with Card Wars 2, and that just made me mad, because I loved Card Wars 1. I still do, but you can't get either anymore, so they're both kind of in the same boat, because eventually I started playing Card Wars 2, and I liked it, and then I got rid of it. I'm like, fuck you, fuck, blah, blah, blah. It was bullshit. I was annoyed. Least favorite childhood TV show. I don't really have one, but I put maybe Hannah Montana, but also HR Puffin stuff, very disturbing to go back to. The puppetry work, the costume work, everything's just kind of got this uncanniness, like Uncanny Valley shit to it. But it's still awesome. I still love that show. I still reference it a lot. Freaking Witchy Poo's Oranges song, Oranges, Oranges. You said ain't no rhyme with oranges. That one's always in my head. The Mechanical Boy. The theme song itself, the episode where Jimmy's trying to fly on a kite home. There's so many banger classics in that show, and I love it. It's old. It's very old, but it's awesome. Great show. I suggest everyone watch it. Just look out. It's kind of weird. Place in my hometown, there was one deli that kept getting my sandwiches and all my food wrong. They put the wrong sauce on my fries, put the wrong cheese on my fries. They put shit I didn't even want on my fries or my sandwiches. Didn't like them. But I still kept trying, because when they got it right, the few times they got it right, it was amazing. Some of the best food, but it never did. Never really did all that much. Outfit. Least favorite outfit / clothing. Don't have an outfit, but I do have a least favorite piece of clothing, and that is jeans. Do I have to say anything more? Okay, I will. Incredibly uncomfortable. The pockets are always too small and too tight. Just a horrible section. I hate jeans. I fucking hate jeans. I hate them so much. They're just uncomfortable, annoying pants, and I hate them. Least favorite fictional character, I put Charles McGill from Better Call Saul. No offense to the guy who plays Charles, and he plays it very well. It's just, he's such a schmuck. It's just a pompous, I'm the best, you suck attitude, which honestly kind of deserved towards Jimmy, generally speaking. You know, I mean, like, he was a very fucking problematic person. So he was trying his best to make him better, but also he was considering himself the best, which is just, I don't like that self-centered nature in any character. I think it's a really just annoying and shitty trait to have. So, don't like that. So Charles McGill, but again, really great character overall. I just don't like him. I was rooting for his demise, and when he died, I honestly was pretty okay with it, even though he broke down and was just sad and killed himself. Honestly, kind of deserved. That's fucked up to say, but kind of true. Least favorite Pokemon. I put 3 here. Because one of them is controversial, but I never liked their design, but honestly they're not that bad, but that's Magmar. I still don't like Magmar. He's got weird arms, he's got a weird schnoz, everything about him is weird and just ugly. He's just ugly, and the fact that people don't think he's ugly confuses me. He's an ugly Pokemon, I don't like him. Diggersby is a gross Pokemon, don't like Diggersby, very gross, and Toxel is just a piece of shit. I want to curb stomp every Toxel, knows him, man. They're terrible. I hate them. I never really cared much for baby Pokemon. He's my least favorite baby. He's my least favorite everything. I don't like Toxel. He's just a dumb, gross, stupid baby thing. He's terrible. Not gross. He's not gross. He's just dumb. In like a not fun or cute way. Just a fucking waste of my time and life way, you know? Fictional world. Least favorite fictional world. I just put most Disney movies because I don't really care much for Disney movies, like the princess ones and all that shit. I don't really want to live in those. But also, I don't really know many because I haven't really finished a single Disney movie, so I can't exactly say that I hate, that I wouldn't want to live in all of them. It's not like they're all bad. Usually, it's pretty positive. I just don't want to be there. Least favorite vehicle. We're kind of speeding through this because I still have like 30 more things to say, and I need to get this up soon. Least favorite vehicle, those loud cars or motorcycles that always sound like they're revving up. Like, every time I gotta walk to work. Whenever I walk past a car that goes, whoa, it makes me want to fucking kick them in the face. One time I was really right about to turn into my store. A fucking white sports car drives by me and is silent the entire time. Goes, whoa, as they're driving by me and they stop when they get away from me. I wanted to go fucking throw something into their windshield and break it. I was so mad. It infuriates me. They're just annoying, and it bugs me. They do it on purpose, and it makes me mad. Weather, sun, sunlight, sunny day, hot. Need I say more? Least favorite cheese. I think pepper jack. Out of the ones I actively eat, pepper jack's probably my least favorite. It's very tasty, but sometimes there's a weird texture because, you know, there's all those little things in it, like peppers or whatever the fuck they put in. I don't really know what they put in pepper jack, honestly, but it makes it spicy, and they have a nice little kick to it, but sometimes you can really get that texture more than the actual cheese texture, and it just throws me off. Least favorite meat is turkey. I hate turkey. We'll never like turkey. Turkey can go suck a dick, for all I care. Least favorite cookie type. I put Nutter Butters because I just don't like peanut butter and put peanut butter in a cookie. That's what most people do. Ugh. Just terrible. Disgusting idea. They should be sad. Least favorite famous landmark. Eiffel Tower. Just a dumb, stupid, metal, thin pyramid. Egypt has much better pyramid shapes and structures. Just go to Egypt. It's way better. Least favorite dance. Honestly, I don't have a least favorite dance, but anything where it's not like a choreograph, like ballroom dancing, I love ballroom dancing. That stuff's fun. It's a nice little choreograph. There's set things you could do. It makes it easy. Anything where I actually have to put my own thought into making a dance freaks me out, especially if I'm actually trying. Dance class was terrible because there'd be times where they'd make me come up with dances and I'd have to perform my stupid dance moves, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I got such horrible just stage fright and shit from that. It was not fun. It was not fun, but anytime they just gave me moves to do, I could do them because everyone else was doing them, and I didn't feel embarrassed for doing it. I was like, yeah, I know how to do this. You're showing me how to do this. I got this. This is fun. I love those. That stuff I like doing. I like actual choreographed shit. Anything where it's up to me to make the dance? No. God, no. Please, no. Leave me out of this. Leave me out of the thought process there. I don't know what I'm doing. Just give me something nice. Least favorite phenomenon in the world? Death. Least favorite potato chip flavor? Ketchup or cappuccino? Because again, remember, cappuccino made its way onto the list. I still hate cappuccino, but ketchup chips are a close second, probably, now that I remember cappuccino chips. But ketchup is a more popular flavor, and I don't think cappuccino chips exist anymore, because that was the Lay's from like a decade ago, so ketchup chips definitely take the top of the list then. In that case, I don't like ketchup flavored stuff very much. So I just don't like ketchup. So yeah, it's not gonna make it. The only time I'll usually eat ketchup is on a burger, and that's rarely the case. So I'm not a big fan. I don't like condiments. So put condiment on a chip, bad day. Least favorite potato chip in general goes to there was a store, I think an Aldi or something. They had these tomato and grilled cheese curls, and they tasted like tomato and grilled cheese. Pretty accurate, but it didn't sit right with that texture. It just felt wrong. It wasn't gross, but it was gross. You know, like it wasn't a gross feeling. It wasn't a gross flavor. It was a gross feeling with that flavor. That just made it fucking weird to eat, and I didn't enjoy eating it at all. Least favorite goldfish flavor. They had like barbecue ones that weren't that great from a while ago. If I had to go with something that's actually out right now, I would probably say the explosive pizza ones, because they used to have like their kind of own flavor to it. They have since sort of actually made them taste like the pizza ones that do exist, but just a kick up. Before, they kind of had their own weird flavor to it, and I don't know why or how. I never really thought about it until they changed it, so it tasted more like the actual regular pizza ones, just stronger. But ever since they kind of did that, you know, it's different. I like the old ones better, but it's still a good flavor. But it just holds back memories. All right, memories. Least favorite Cheez-It flavor, the pepper jack ones. They're okay, but they don't really taste like anything. You know, they're surprisingly not that strong for a cheese that usually packs a decent enough kick in it. Very surprising, very upsetting. Least favorite travel method. As a concept, like something I haven't done, but just knowing how it works. Flying. I don't like the idea of flying. Don't like how many things could go wrong while you're flying. I know it's technically the safest, but that's because, in my opinion, flying's been around for the least amount of time considered around most other forms of transportation. So of course it's going to have the least amount of actual record incidents and accidents. But also, if something goes wrong, you don't want to be. The plane is the last one you want to be on, or maybe a boat, maybe a boat. But I feel like boats at least have a decent possibility of success as long as you know how to swim and you can get to something, you know, or like there's usually lifeboats or something. Airplanes, you get a parachute. You hope to God you're going over land, because if you fucking crash over water, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do. Now, is there? So yeah, don't like the idea of flying, but school buses and cars, but mainly school buses, very car sick in them. Don't like driving in them. They're terrible. A car with poor ventilation is so bad, but usually they're pretty okay now. I'm a little bit better at car sickness in cars, but school buses never got over that. And now I don't have to deal with it, so I'd probably say just poorly ventilated cars, but school buses were always the worst for me. Least favorite, right on to the last few things, least favorite YouTube channel. I don't really know, you know, because I always crave someone's content for a little bit, and then I phase away from it, watch other people's things, and I sometimes cycle through a lot of things. But for me, I think Cool Riddles. It is a smaller channel. They stopped doing stuff a few years back, I think. But they basically just did like minute-long videos where they just had like a little like picture of a guy or whatever scene was happening for the riddle, and it was like popping up the riddle on the screen. You'd read it, and then they'd be like, "How did it happen?" And at the end, they'd show the answer. But it was fine. But the only thing that I hated about it was that they used, no matter what the riddle was, they had the most ominous, creepy, eerie, just disturbing music, and they put it over these dumb riddles. So by the time I was done with a few of them, I was just creeped out. I don't see that's the thing with horror. If horror was like that, wasn't supposed to be horror, but the fact that it was just innocent, freaking little riddles with just confusingly creepy music, it just creeped me out, and I didn't like it, and I still don't like it going back to it. So honestly, I have to give it to them, even though their stuff was honestly pretty fine. I didn't hate anything that they did. I just hated how they put themselves out there. Least favorite teacher, my 5th grade and 3rd grade teachers, respectively, were both pretty big assholes to me in particular. My 5th grade teacher hated me. Whenever we were doing cursive, I was always the last one to actually do anything with the cursive. Like that, I would write. I remember one time I wrote an essay, and I didn't use pen at first, so then I had to rewrite it all in pen. And then I didn't write it in cursive, which they should have told me the first time I fucked up the essay. They didn't write it in cursive then either, but then I get to write it in cursive. It's a cursive class. Like, fuck you. I don't want to. I like cursive now. It still is just as kick and scratch as it always was, but, you know, it's nice. My third grade teacher, one time I turned in a homework assignment. They couldn't find it. They got mad at me for it, and as a vendetta, I basically did no homework for that entire year. Somehow still graduated. I don't really know how. That teacher hated me. And I think towards the end of the year, I had to remake a bunch of those assignments, which was pretty fun to just blast through them all like that. It was pretty fun, honestly. But it was just, I just hated her. They were both terrible. Least favorite age. I think 10 was my least favorite age that I was as a person, because a lot of bad things happened. I was in 5th grade. I was called to school because I was a smelly boy. My dad died. There's just a lot of bad things that happened when I was 10, you know? Not great stuff. Although that was also the age I was when a particular family member fucking ate shit during the funeral and their chair collapsed under them and they fell on their ass. We all had a pretty good laugh at that. So honestly, maybe it wasn't so bad after all. Least favorite job. I only have ever had one job, and I like it a lot. So I can't say for me personally, but I feel like I couldn't be a doctor. My hands aren't super shaky, but they're shaky enough where I can never really take a very straight picture. It's pretty good, but if I try to you can see that there's a little bit of shake to it. So I feel like I couldn't really do any operations or stuff like that. Also, anything involving driving. I'm terrified of driving. I could never drive anything. I feel like I'd be very bad at it. I was bad at it. I did technically have a second job, being a assistant in a training room for college for that one year I was in college, but it was fine. It was fun. I didn't hate it. And I liked the driving bits, but I kept fucking up the driving bits. I think I've gone over that before, where I couldn't park it, and then I got it stuck for a while. I had to really just grab it. I had to pull it myself to wedge it out, and then slowly back it in, get it stuck, wedge it back, and watch, rinse, repeat that. I was not good at driving that thing. But I still enjoyed doing it, but I wasn't good at it, and I couldn't imagine driving a car on a road. Last 3 sections. Least favorite coworker. This is a very easy answer. I'm not going to say their name. I don't say names here, if you couldn't get that already. I don't say anyone's names. But one of my coworkers in particular, very very self-centered. You can get from their conversations. They're very loud and obnoxious and annoying. But they're 17, so they're kids. So I don't really care that much about it. And they also offered me rides home for a while there, which I appreciated. But then after the second one, they were like, "Hey, can every 3 rides, you give me $5 just so I can pay for gas and stuff." I'm like, you know what? Fair. Honestly, I don't hate them for that. I thought that was fair. No one else did that, but that's because they were doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They were doing it out of the kindness of their heart, but also were thinking reasonably about their economic situation, which is hey, fuck it, sure, I'll give you I give them $10 for every 3, because I felt 5 was too little, because I would pay $10 to get an Uber home. So I'm like, hey, I either pay $30 for 3 Ubers, or I pay you $10 for 3 rides. That just seems like a fucking steal. 5 was definitely a steal, but I wanted to give them more because they were still offering the rides. They were being really nice about it. But then at one point, they said I couldn't get any more rides because their boyfriend said that whenever they could basically tell I was in their car because I made it smell bad. Which shouldn't. Not something that I think anyone really would admit, but I think that's just so fucking funny. And also, of course, I'm gonna make it kind of smell bad. I work retail. I basically, on the days I would ever work with them, it would be truck days, which is basically me breaking down a bunch of boxes and then me moving those boxes around and me shipping those and storing those and stacking those and placking those and whatever the fuck. I was doing a lot of manual labor. I always sweat. I'm very sweaty. So that doesn't exactly leave a good impression on anyone, on any situation. So yeah, it was gonna be pretty. I wasn't gonna smell the best at the end of the day. So yeah, it makes sense. And they also mentioned it. They were like, yeah, I have to air out my car, which is just dude, you can say that to people, but don't say that to me, because as much as I think it's hilarious, it also kind of hurts. It also, cannot lie, it does kind of hurt. But yeah, they're just annoying, and for the most part, just not a fan. And then I haven't really worked with them much after they did that, because I only work 1 day a week since school's starting up again. And it's the one weekday that I have off, which is Fridays, so don't get to see them anymore. Not really that upset about it. Just, it was funny. I hold no grudge against them. I still like everyone I work with, them included. It's just that if I had to pick a least favorite coworker, I have a few actual reasons for why they would be my least favorite one, but they're all great. My least favorite friend, they know who they are. I wish you the best. You're not watching. You're not watching. I wish you the best. I'm not going to elaborate any further, but they know who they are. I did actually mention them somewhere within this episode, so they know who they are. My least favorite family member is the last one that pops up, and this I have to say, as much as I don't want to say an answer, there is an answer, and it's my aunt's boyfriend. I was going to say husband, but I don't think they're legally married, because he's already married to somebody, but he's not divorcing them because he doesn't want to lose his money or whatever. I don't know the situation. I spoke too much on that situation, but I don't really care, because this guy is a big dick. He drove everyone from our family pretty much away from the big meetings. Like, we always have these huge family gatherings, and then whenever he came around, less and less people were coming to these gatherings because he was just a big, obnoxious asshole. He was the biggest piece of shit dickhole who was just arrogant and smug and thought he was the best, and we would be talking, and he'd just whip out his guitar and start playing guitar over us. Whenever he was like a toddler. Every time we weren't giving him attention, he did something to gain our attention. He had a fucking grand piano take up half the fucking the dining room area. We used to have huge table dinners, and instead we had to have smaller table dinner, and we'd all eat outside mostly. Whenever we would come inside, big ass piano was there. It's for him to just be like, "Oh, give me play piano," which is fine. I like instruments. He played good. He was just a dick about it. And anytime we try to tell our aunt about it, they didn't understand what we were talking about. They didn't want to see the problems. There are also a lot of way worse problems. We're not going to get into this today. It's a wholesome day. But yeah, just a piece of shit. And it's a shame that they couldn't see it, because honestly, most of our family is kind of dispersed since then. I will say, I recently, for my birthday, I got a letter in the mail from one of our uncles that I haven't seen in so long, and I cried because it was a very basic little note saying like, "Hey, happy birthday, hope you're doing great, hope you're having a happy life." He's so nice. I love him. He made us our bench back in Brooklyn that our landlord took when they renovated the front, like an asshole. So many horrible people, but also so many other great people make up for that. It's amazing. So with that, those are my least favorite things, everybody. I'm sure there's a lot more different subjects we can go into. I'm sure there's a part 2 to be had for both of these sort of videos. But those are the main things, and I don't have much time to actually get this figured out. So I'm gonna hurry up real quick. Thank you all for tuning in. This episode of Stranded Deep in Conversation. I'll see you all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.